All right, classifying complex numbers. Students will be able to determine the real and imaginary parts of complex numbers and classify numbers as real, imaginary, or complex. This may be one of the easiest things we're ever going to do. I'm not even joking. Here's the deal. This is what a complex number is. It's written in the form a plus bi, but all it means is some real number plus some imaginary number. So here's an example, 7 plus 4i, or 2 minus 6i, where the a, the 7, that's the real part, and the 4, that's the imaginary part. So here, the 2 would be the real, and the negative 6 would be the imaginary. So, hey, look at this, example 1. They want us to identify the real and the imaginary. That's really all you have to do on these types of problems. So take a look. The real here is 7. The imaginary is positive 4i. That's it. Why don't you see if you can do part B on your own? Yeah, so hopefully you saw the real is 2 and the imaginary is negative 6i. Because even though it says minus there, this whole thing is really the imaginary number. So it's negative 6i. That's really it, guys. That's really it. Okay, that's what skill 3 is going to look like. Skill 4 is going to say, hey, classify the following numbers as real, imaginary, or complex. Now, before you do this, there is something to remember. It's very important. Every number that you've ever seen ever in your life is actually a complex number because it can be written as a complex number. So here's a real number, 7, but I could write 7 as 7 plus 0 i's. Or here's an imaginary number, 5i, and it's a complex number because I can write it as a complex number. I can write it as 0 plus 5i. So because of that fact, remember in these types of questions, complex is always going to be an answer choice. Always, always, always. So if I ask you if it's real, imaginary, or complex, and it's real, it's also going to be complex. Or if it's imaginary, it's also going to be complex. But if it's just complex, then it's just complex. So here, let's talk about it. In the first example, I have real and imaginary parts. So this is just complex. Remember again, complex means that there's an a plus bi in it. And this is a real of 14 and an imaginary of negative 3i. So that makes it complex. Part B is imaginary, and it can be written as 0 plus 13i, so it is also complex. So if you were checking these off, you would check those two. You check both of those. Or on this one, you would just check complex. So the last one, I think you could do that on your own. Is it real, imaginary, and or complex? Give it a shot and then unpause the video when ready to check. So hopefully you first saw, yeah, that's our real number. There's no imaginary in it. But it could be written as 27 plus 0i, so it's also a complex number, so you would select both. Okay, for the summary, guys, I just want you to describe what a complex number is in your own words. That's it. All right, see you guys in the next video.